What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to make a floating candy diamond that's suspended in a block of resin. Check this out.
Chicago hat, Boston sweater. It's gonna piss some people off, I already know. Today's video, we are making a floating candy diamond in a brick of resin. I'm gonna start selling every art that you see in these videos, including this guy. They're gonna be 1 for 1. It's gonna be the one that I'm actually making in the video that I'm selling. The issue is if I'm making 2 art pieces a week, I'm gonna run out of space really quickly. This one is up right now on my Etsy. I'm gonna be posting the links to my Instagram stories first, so follow me on Instagram. Disclaimer with that though, this isn't merch, this isn't YouTube merch. This is still my creation. This is still my art. This is still something I wanna go down that path with. If you're wondering about the cost of things, usually it's about the time it took, the materials it took, or even the tools. The price is gonna be changing per piece. These videos, I'm actually showing you how to make it, so if you don't like the price, go make it yourself. You know, it's one of those things. But anyways, let's get back to the video, guys. This is how you make a floating candy diamond.
All right, so today we're starting with our silicone diamond molds. I went to my storage locker and I grabbed these. I've had these for probably 2 years now. I originally thought that they were gonna be a flat bottom, and we all know diamonds have a point, but that's just so it could stand up. It actually does go to a point. Step 1, we are going right into resin. So slap on those nitrile gloves. There we go. We're gonna get some dental cups because we're not using too much resin here, and we are going to fill them up with, well, one of them being hardener and then the other one being resin. Combine them into 1 cup and then mix it for a solid, well, 2 minutes. Now, unfortunately, I didn't realize that the other half of the bag was actually open, so I spilled some, but check this out. We're gonna put in more sprinkles. I know it looks like a lot, but we're actually gonna be putting more than that. Try to aim for a 1-to-1 mixture with sprinkles to resin if you're making something out of sprinkles. So it should be this texture, very oatmeal-like, very sludgy. We're gonna put that halfway up into our silicone diamond. And we're gonna toss that bad boy into our vacuum chamber. Get ready to see this guy a lot. And we're just gonna pop all the big bubbles. It's fine if it froths up because a lot of those would be so microscopic, and we're gonna hit it with the barbecue lighter just to pop the top layer. We're gonna put in some more sprinkles, and then we're gonna put in some dry ones. I told you we're putting more. Like, you need a lot of sprinkles. And then we're gonna top it off with some more of our mixture with resin. Now, because of these diamond molds, they actually kind of come up at the sides and at the top, and it's a very easy spot for bubbles to get stuck. So I went in with a toothpick and I just sort of massaged the bubbles out, and then again I hit it with the barbecue lighter to pop the bubbles. And we're gonna leave it like that until day 2. And here's day 2. We let it dry and cure overnight, and we have a very hard mold to get our stuff out of. Seriously, these diamond silicone molds are so hard to get your stuff out of. But eventually they'll pop out like that, and beautiful. Like, beautiful mixture. It's shiny just like the silicone. It worked out perfectly. No resin divide. It's all just sprinkles. I'm just gonna trim up the top just to clean it up a little bit more, and boom, we've got a perfectly good candy diamond. Now is where this DIY gets interesting. We are taking this diamond, which is 1.5 inches, okay? And we are taking this silicone mold, which is 4 inches. And we are gonna take some Scotch tape, put it on the side of the mold, and it's not gonna wanna stick to the silicone, so don't worry, as long as it just sort of stays. And we are gonna mark, I believe it was 1.25 inches with a dry erase over the tape, so we're not actually messing with the mold at all. And this is where our first layer is gonna get poured. So we're gonna go ahead and mix some more resin. Now listen, guys, we are trying to get a crystal clear resin block here. It's so important that you mix this stuff for 2 to even 3 minutes to make sure it's fully mixed in. We're gonna pour it, and you're gonna notice that there's lots of bubbles. That's totally fine. I didn't really mix this slowly. I just wanted to make sure it was fully mixed. We're gonna pour that fully out. And you're gonna notice I actually didn't pour enough there to get up to the blue dots. So I made some more, and if you look closely, it's raising right here. And boom, we're at the marker. We're gonna hit it with the heat gun, and that's just gonna pop the initial top layer of bubbles. Get ready to see this guy a lot too, because you will be. We're gonna put that back into the vacuum chamber, or I guess in this case, it's the first time. And this right here is a time lapse, okay? So the whole idea is that the vacuum chamber is getting rid of all the big bubbles, and it's gonna froth up. And we're gonna have to keep doing this until the consistency sort of looks like boiling water. I also wanna mention, it is gonna spend at least 20 to 30 minutes in this process. So this is a very high maintenance project. It's gonna be degassing for at least 20 to 30 minutes each time. And for any bubbles that might remain, when you let the air back in like this, they're going to slowly shrink down and become pretty much microscopic. That they're either going to pop themselves, or when you hit it with the heat gun, they're going to break. So those aren't a big concern. And 2 hours later, this is actually already cured. Like this is hard. It's warm, but it's hard. This should usually take 12 hours.
And pause. Art resin, which is the main resin I use for most of my sculptures, is not a deep pour epoxy. And there is specific resin that is meant for deep pour projects. Most of the times they're gonna have fumes. Art resin is more of a top coat. It's more of a glaze. They've been awesome to work with. I've got a video coming out with them, but the uses that I'm applying it to aren't exactly what they're pushing that as their product being. The shot I just showed you, this resin is curing in 2 hours. Resin should not be curing in 2 hours. It should take 12 to 24 hours. But this stuff is hard to the touch after 2, which means that the heat that's happening in that chemical reaction is too hot, and it's actually too thick of a layer. But these videos are a learning thing for me. So with that being said, day 2 here, depending on the epoxy you're using, should not be happening in one go. And I will say that this project is very high maintenance. Day 2 took me all day. I had to attend to it to pour another layer. But yeah, we're gonna get back to the video now. Just know that resin should not be curing like it is in these shots within 2 hours. Clearly, it's not the intended purpose. And we're gonna see the effects of that later on in this video, but let's get back to it.
Yeah, so I don't know how to follow that, but go ahead and pour your next layer. Yeah, so you can see that it is very bubbly as well. Hit it with the heat gun once again. Pop that top layer of bubbles. And we're gonna put in our diamond. The reason I put a layer there is in case the diamond is getting put onto hard resin, it might trap bubbles on the top. This way, it's actually got a little bit of a liquid base. You're gonna center it, and then we're gonna pour some more on top. Now, this resin has not been degassed yet, so just keep that in mind. We will be doing that. Pour it slowly just because you don't want it to move around your placement, and then we're gonna put that back in the vacuum chamber. As you can kind of see right here, see how the consistency goes to almost like a boiling water? This is oftentimes where it's going to plateau, and that's totally fine. That means you have pretty much crystal clear resin, because a lot of those bubbles will pop under a heat gun, or when we let air back in, they're going to become so microscopic that you can just sort of push them to the side. Like, look at that. We're now going to cover this with paper so nothing gets inside of our resin now, and we're going to come back in, well, 2 hours. 2 hours later, and it is hard. I'm telling you guys, this is not normal. It is warm too, and we're gonna go ahead and pour in our next layer. At this point, the diamond's pretty much locked in, so you don't have to worry about messing it or bumping it, but yeah. We're gonna repeat the entire process again. Hit it with the heat gun, and then back into the vacuum chamber. Now, this is a really good one, because you guys are gonna see the entire process here. It's gonna raise up multiple times, and it's going down because I'm letting air back in, but eventually it's gonna hit a breaking point, which is right here. And I'm not letting air back in. It's just, it's gotten all the air, and it's gonna sort of collapse in on itself, like right here. And it's just, there's no more air in there, and it's sort of, that's a good sign to say, hey, this is pretty much gonna be crystal clear at this point. Anything else, any sort of blemishes or hair that might have fallen in there, scoop it out with a toothpick. And like, look at how clear this is so far. Like, that looks great for how much resin we've got in there. 2 hours later, this is hard again, and it's ready for its next pour, but it is warm, but we're gonna keep pushing through. I just wanna see what happens. So go ahead and pour the entire last layer in there. Hit it with the heat gun, you know the drill. Because this is curing so fast and it's getting so hot, the corners are actually getting messed up on this. So I'm taking a toothpick to let more resin fall in there and get the air bubbles out. I put it back in the vacuum chamber to save you all the time. You guys know what happens. This is after. Crystal clear. Super, super proud of this. This is my biggest skill set of 2020. And it's hard. 2 hours later, it's solidified. It's cured. But the corners, again, have been messed up. They're getting too hot, and they're kind of shrinking in on themselves. So we're going to use some UV resin and put them in the corner just to fix it. I don't like using UV resin with a different resin. But just so this can get done, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Hit it with a black light. Day 3, it is done. In fact, it was done last night, but I didn't want to rush it. So you can see, actually, because this was getting so hot during its chemical reaction, it's buckled at the bottom, or it's expanded and it's sort of bubbled out. The sides are fine. It's just the bottom I noticed sort of expanded. We're gonna go ahead and demold this and peel it back. Check out what we got. Ooh, clear. Look at how clear that is. I'm so proud of this. The only issue, guys, and you can already see it, is you could see the layers. And this is because, again, we're not using a deep pour epoxy, so no faults to Art Resin at all. This is not the main purpose of their product. I still am really proud. No bubbles in this thing. That is, I'm so happy with that. It's super, super clear. The corners got messed up again. This has been a lesson. If you look at it straight on, you can't really notice the layers, but when you sort of tilt it, you can see a little bit of a blemish as to where our 4 layers have gone. But looking at it from the bottom or the top, it is crystal clear.
So there you guys have it. That is how you make a floating candy diamond. Because I did deep pours with a non-deep pour epoxy, we can actually see the layers. So that's been a lesson. I'm getting really good at getting clear resin. There's like not even a single bubble in this resin. The corners sort of did get messed up because of the heat of the resin. It sort of shrunk. All in all, for my first sort of deep pour, it's super level. It's smack dab in the middle. It still turned out really cool to me. If I would do it again, I would do it with a different epoxy that's more meant for deep pouring. This is up there for one of my most expensive pieces, by the way. The most expensive one I ever did was the chicken nugget clock, this being the second, because this is almost 100% resin other than the sprinkles. Yeah, there you guys have it. If you guys are gonna try this or to try this to some extent, please tag me. I would love to see your artwork. If you guys want to see more photos of that or even some of my other artwork, head over to my Instagram at Danocracy. You can follow me there. That's where I'm gonna notify when new art pieces go up for sale first. Yeah, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Every Wednesday and Sunday I'm trying to have a new art piece coming out to you guys, and I'm so happy you guys are enjoying this. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next video. See you guys later.